Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to speak to you about something that has the power to shift your entire reality. It's not something that costs money. It's not something you need to buy or borrow or beg for. It is something that already exists within you. It is something that, once understood and properly activated, can change the very direction of your life. I am talking about the power of visualization, not wishful thinking, not daydreaming, but a focused, deliberate, and disciplined use of your mind to create your future before it ever becomes visible in the physical world. You see, ladies and gentlemen, everything you now touch, taste, smell, or see with your natural eyes, every invention, every building, every product, every business, began first in the imagination of someone who dared to visualize it. The airplane didn't start in the sky. It started in the mind of two brothers. The iPhone didn't begin in your hand. It began in the creative visual power of a man who imagined a future where the world could be at your fingertips. The vision always comes first, and manifestation always follows. Visualization is the seed of every reality. But here's where most people miss it. They think visualization is just thinking positive thoughts. No, ladies and gentlemen, that's too weak. That's like planting a seed and never watering it. Visualization is not passive, it is intentional, powerful, and emotional. When you visualize, you're not just thinking, you're creating, you're rehearsing your future. You are training your subconscious mind to recognize the version of reality that already exists in your spirit and drawing it into the realm of the physical through belief, emotion, and consistent alignment. Let me make it plain. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what is vividly imagined and what is real. That's not philosophy, that's neuroscience. When you imagine yourself speaking on stage in front of thousands and feel the applause, the pride, the joy, it fires up the same neural circuits as if it were actually happening. You are rewiring your brain. And when your brain is rewired, your actions begin to align with the version of yourself you see. If you consistently see yourself as wealthy, confident, focused, and joyful, you will begin to make decisions as if you were already that person. Now here's the kicker. Most people already visualize. They do it every day. But they visualize the wrong things. They visualize the worst-case scenario. They rehearse failure in their minds. They imagine rejection. They anticipate disappointment. And then they act surprised when that's exactly what shows up in their lives. But if you change the picture, you can change the outcome. If you change the movie playing in your mind, you can change the ending. You must be intentional about what you allow to play on the screen of your imagination, because your life is moving in the direction of your dominant vision. Let me ask you a question. What are you seeing when you close your eyes? What does your future look like when no one is watching? Because that's where the real game is played. That's the inner world, and the outer world is just its echo. Most people wait until they see change in their environment to believe something new is possible. But that's backward. You don't wait to see it to believe it. You believe it until you see it. That's the power of visualization. It is belief before evidence. Faith in picture form. Ladies and gentlemen, the world does not give you what you want. It gives you what you are. And what you are is what you repeatedly see yourself as. That's why athletes visualize before the big game. That's why top performers rehearse their success before it ever happens. They've understood something that many people ignore. Your brain is a predictive machine. It is always looking for confirmation of what it already believes. If you show it a new picture consistently enough and with enough emotion, your brain begins to believe it's real. And once it believes, your behavior changes. Once your behavior changes, your results change. And once your results change, your entire life changes. But let me warn you, this takes work. This takes discipline. You can't visualize once a month and expect transformation. This is daily, morning and night. You must create a space where your mind can rehearse your desired future so many times that it becomes more familiar than your present circumstances. You must become obsessed, not in a toxic way, but in a focused way. You must become more emotionally connected to the life you're building than to the life you're escaping. Now some of you might say, but I've tried this and it doesn't work. That's like saying you planted a seed and nothing grew the next day, so the soil is broken. No, the seed needs time, water, sunlight, and nurturing. Your vision is the same. Just because you don't see fruit immediately does not mean the root is not growing. Persistence is the key, repetition is the secret, and emotion is the fuel. You must not only see your future, you must feel it. Feel the joy of the victory, feel the weight of the reward, feel the freedom of the outcome. Your emotions give energy to the vision, and the more emotional intensity you bring to your visualization, the faster you accelerate the process of becoming. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know this truth: you are not waiting on your future. Your future is waiting on you. It's already out there. It already exists in a realm you cannot touch yet. And your job is to align your mind, body, and spirit with that vision until it becomes your reality. Your job is not to wonder how it will happen. Your job is to see it clearly, daily, and consistently. The how will reveal itself through divine timing and inspired action. Let me tell you a secret. The clearer the vision, the fewer the options, the easier the decision. If you are not clear on where you're going, every distraction looks like an opportunity. But when your vision is sharp, distractions become irrelevant. You begin to walk with purpose. You begin to talk with clarity. You begin to attract what aligns and repel what doesn't. Visualization brings focus, and focus produces momentum. This is why it's not just about seeing yourself with more money. It's about seeing yourself with more impact, more peace, more freedom, more purpose. When you visualize, you must go beyond the surface and into the essence of who you want to become. Don't just see the outcome, see the process. See yourself waking up early, doing the work, learning the skills, showing up with consistency. See the version of yourself who deserves the results. Because when you become that person in your mind first, the outside world has no choice but to mirror it. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be very clear. Visualization is not magic. It's not a genie in a bottle. It is a mental discipline that activates your faith and aligns your actions. It is the blueprint that your behavior follows. It is the software update that tells your life what program to run. And if you keep running the program of fear, failure, and frustration, that's because that's what your mind has been rehearsing. But if you dare to download the program of confidence, abundance, and success, your life will begin to shift in ways that make no logical sense. Because you've activated a supernatural principle that turns the invisible into the visible. Some of you need to build a vision board. Some of you need to start journaling your future like it's already happened. Some of you need to start scripting your next chapter. Some of you need to spend 10 minutes every morning seeing the version of you that already has what you're praying for. And let me say this, don't just visualize what you want. Visualize who you want to bless. Visualize the lives you'll impact, the families you'll feed, the hope you'll restore. Make your vision bigger than you, and you'll find a reason to keep going when the journey gets hard. And it will get hard. Visualization doesn't eliminate the storm, it gives you the strength to walk through it. When things get tough, the vision pulls you forward. When doors close, the vision reminds you that another one is opening. When people doubt you, the vision whispers, keep going. And when you finally arrive, you'll realize you didn't stumble into success, you saw it long before it showed up. Ladies and gentlemen, I leave you with this: your imagination is a gift. It is not childish, it is divine. It is not fantasy, it is foundational. Use it, sharpen it, train it, master it. Because once your mind sees it clearly, your feet will begin to move in alignment. And when your mind and feet agree, there is nothing in this world that can stop you. So go, close your eyes, open your mind, paint the picture, feel the emotion, rehearse the victory, live the future now. Because the power of visualization is not just in what you see. It's in what you become because of what you see. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you change your life from the inside out. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're still with me, then I want to take you even deeper. Not into theory, but into transformation. Because once you understand that visualization is not a game, not a gimmick, but a gateway, you start to look at your life differently. You no longer allow your current conditions to dictate your future decisions. You stop surrendering to circumstances and start surrendering to vision. The moment you choose to become governed by what's possible instead of what's present, your reality begins to expand to meet the level of your belief. And I know, for some of you, it's hard to visualize something better because all you've ever known is struggle. You've only seen failure, rejection, hardship, and loss. So your mind has built a pattern of expecting more of the same. But let me challenge you with this truth. Just because you've seen pain doesn't mean you're meant to live there. Just because you've been broken doesn't mean you're not destined to build. Just because you've lived through a storm doesn't mean the sun forgot how to shine. Visualization gives you the permission to leave the mental prison of your past and step into the future that already belongs to you. You might be saying, I don't know what to visualize because I don't know what I want. That's okay. Start with how you want to feel. Start with peace. Start with joy. Start with freedom. Let that be the paintbrush. Let your emotions create the outline, and then slowly, piece by piece, the image will become clear. You do not need all the details in the beginning. You just need enough faith to start seeing something different than what you've seen before. Vision grows in clarity with repetition. The more you look, the more you'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't outwork a broken vision. I've seen people hustle day and night, grind until they burn out, all while holding a mental picture of themselves as small, unworthy, undeserving. And it never works. Because no matter how fast you run, if you're running in the wrong direction, you'll never arrive. Vision doesn't just change where you go. It changes why you go. It gives your movement meaning. And without meaning, motion is just noise. That's why you must begin every day by feeding your vision. You feed your body, don't you? You don't skip meals for weeks and expect to stay healthy. Why do you starve your mind of vision and expect to grow? Feed it with imagination. Feed it with gratitude. Feed it with hope. Feed it with images of your future that are so compelling, so rich, so powerful that you can't help but act in alignment with them. Do you want to change your income? Change your vision. Do you want to heal relationships? Change your vision. Do you want to walk in purpose? You must first see yourself doing it before you ever do. That's the law. The mind leads and the body follows. The inner vision dictates the outer experience. That's why fear is so effective, because it uses the same principle. Fear is visualization of a negative outcome, but just because it's automatic doesn't mean it's true. You have the power to override fear with faith. Not blind faith, but vivid, focused, practiced visualization of what could be if you decided to believe. And let me say this to those of you who feel stuck is not a place. It's a pattern. And patterns are broken by disrupting the story in your mind. If your inner dialogue is always replaying what you can't do, what you'll never be, what always goes wrong, then your vision is poisoned. You must detox your imagination from the lies it's been fed. You must tell a new story, and you must do it on purpose. Your vision has to be louder than your excuses. It has to be more vivid than your doubts. It has to be stronger than your distractions. You cannot allow the opinions of others to blur your focus. This is your life, this is your movie, and you are both the actor and the director. Stop handing the camera to people who were never meant to hold it. Stop letting someone else write your script. You have the power to edit the story, to change the scene, to introduce a new chapter, but first you must see it. Ladies and gentlemen, every great achievement began with someone who visualized something no one else could see. They looked at empty land and saw cities. They looked at broken systems and saw solutions. They looked at pain and saw purpose. Visionaries are not special, they're just committed to seeing with their minds even when their eyes show them something else. And that commitment creates alignment, and alignment produces results. So what are you committed to seeing? Are you committed to seeing yourself healthy, whole, and vibrant? Or are you rehearsing sickness? Are you committed to seeing abundance? Or are you constantly preparing for lack? Are you committed to love, peace, expansion? Or are you trapped in a loop of fear, resentment, and retreat? Because whatever you continue to see, you eventually start to believe. And what you believe, you behave. And what you behave, you become. Let me make it even more practical. I want you to create mental movies. Not just random pictures, but full experiences. See yourself walking into the life you desire. Hear the sounds. Smell the environment. Feel the emotions. What are you wearing? Who are you talking to? What are they saying to you? What are you saying to yourself? The more sensory detail you add, the more real it becomes to your subconscious mind. And once your subconscious believes it, your behavior starts working toward it without you even realizing it. Visualization is like placing an order with the universe. You don't place the order and then go back to the kitchen to cook it yourself. You trust the process. You act in alignment. You keep preparing as if it's already on the way. The same is true with vision. You don't visualize once and then panic the next day because nothing's changed. You keep the vision in front of you until it becomes more real than your doubts. That's the test of faith, holding the image even when the facts seem to contradict it. And let me speak to the achievers in the room, the ones who are always doing, always moving, always building. Visualization is not laziness, it's leverage. It is not replacing action, it is aligning action. It helps you move with precision, with efficiency, with purpose. It helps you avoid wasted energy. It turns blind hustle into strategic movement. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the difference between busy and effective. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not forgotten. But you may be misaligned. You may be so caught up in survival that you've stopped creating. So caught up in reacting that you've stopped visualizing. And that's why today is your invitation to return to your power. Not by forcing, but by seeing. Not by striving, but by aligning. Go back to the drawing board of your mind. Go back to that inner canvas. Pick up the paintbrush again. Dare to draw again. Dare to believe again. Because the version of you that has everything you desire already exists. He or she is waiting for you to catch up in your belief. Do not underestimate the power of a clearly visualized life. It pulls resources, it attracts opportunities, it magnetizes the right people. Why? Because you begin to operate as if it's already done. You carry yourself with a knowing, and when you carry yourself like that, people notice. Doors open. Things shift. That's not arrogance. That's alignment. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter where you came from. It matters where you see yourself going. It doesn't matter how many times you've failed. It matters how vividly you can see the comeback. The world will always offer reasons to doubt, but your vision is your reason to keep believing, and belief is the bridge between what is and what can be. So I dare you, starting tonight, no, starting now, to spend at least 10 minutes seeing your future as clearly as you can. Every single day, even if it's uncomfortable, especially if it's uncomfortable. That discomfort is your current mindset being stretched by a new possibility. That resistance is a signal that transformation is taking place. Keep going. You're not just visualizing a better job, you're visualizing freedom. You're not just visualizing a relationship, you're visualizing connection, partnership, legacy. You're not just visualizing wealth, you're visualizing impact, generosity, the power to break generational cycles. Make it deep. Make it meaningful, make it vivid, and then move in that direction every single day with conviction. And when the doubt creeps in, as it will, you don't fight it with logic. You fight it with vision. You don't argue with it. You overpower it with a stronger, more dominant image of who you are becoming. That's how you break through. That's how you rise. So ladies and gentlemen, as I close, remember this: your imagination is your preview of life's coming attractions. But it's not just a trailer, it's an invitation to partner with your creator, with your purpose, with your future self. Don't ignore it. Don't dismiss it. Don't wait. Start now. Start small. Start today. Because the life you want isn't waiting to be earned. It's waiting to be seen. And once you see it, truly, vividly, consistently, it's only a matter of time before you live it. As we stand at the edge of possibility, let this truth settle deeply within your heart. Your future is not a matter of chance, it is a matter of vision. You are not a passive observer in the story of your life, you are the author, the architect, the painter of the masterpiece that is waiting to be revealed through the power of your imagination. Visualization is not some abstract theory, it is the daily discipline of mentally walking through the life you desire until it becomes the life you live. It is choosing, every day, to focus not on where you are, but on where you are going. It is seeing yourself rise while the world says stay down. It is feeling abundance while your account says lack. It is hearing victory in your spirit while your circumstances are shouting defeat. It is knowing that the vision you carry is more real than the reality you're currently in. So from this moment forward, refuse to live by default. Live by design. Choose what you see. Guard what you imagine. Feed what you want to grow. And remember, when your vision is clear, your faith is activated. When your faith is activated, your actions align. When your actions align, results begin to flow. And when results flow, transformation becomes inevitable. You don't need to see the whole path. You just need to keep seeing the next step in your spirit, because the vision you nurture today will become the reality you walk in tomorrow. So close your eyes, look within, and dare to see what no one else sees. Dare to believe that what you visualize in faith, you shall realize in fact, and then walk out your days with the unshakable confidence that everything you've imagined, every dream, every goal, every breakthrough, is already on its way. You've seen it, and if you can see it, you can have it. Now go live it. Thank you.